Yo, what is up, guys? My name is Nicholas Earl, and welcome back to an episode of Earl Sports Bets. And today we've got a college basketball slate to go over. Should be a fun slate. We got 10 games that I'm going to be going over for today that have really good value. But first, before we get into the recap of yesterday, and before we get into our video today, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on your push notifications so you guys are notified each and every time we come out of the video here at Earl Sports Bets. And let me know in the comment section down below who your best bet is for today in college basketball. All right, into our recap of yesterday. We went 4-3. We had a solid day. Could have been a little bit better if a couple of games swung our way, obviously. But our losses were App State, -4.5. They really just didn't play well. And they lost by 9. Buffalo, if they could have swung just 4 points in the other way, I know it's a lot, but they would have covered the -2.5, but they lost by 1 point. No big deal. And then our other loss was North Dakota, -4.5. They only won by 2 points, so unfortunately they were 3 points away from covering that spread. But we did get wins from Cal Poly. They were a +5. They won straight up by 6 points. UL Monroe almost pulled the 10.5 point upset against Little Rock. They lost by 4 points, but still covered that spread. South Dakota took care of business, 91-59 against Omaha, and then Coastal Carolina won 79-62 to cover the 1 point spread. Now we are 195, 184, and 4 at 51.5%. So we are doing much better lately. So let's keep this decent streak going. And let's get into today's slate for college basketball. All right, we're going to be starting with a matchup here in the Patriot League. If I can find it. There we go. It is Loyola Marymount taking on Navy. And this line's actually moved 1.5, which is interesting. It's a 3.5 point spread. No money line on this game yet, but that is fine. We're looking at the favorite anyway here. But Navy coming into this game 10-2, 7-1 in the Patriot League, coming off of a loss against Army, though. I think they're going to be angry and ready to play against this Loyola Maryland team, which is 0-4, 0-4 in Patriot League as well, coming off, 4 straight losses against American and Lafayette. And I think that this Navy team gets back on a win streak here. Take the -3.5, getting a massive 8 points of value on this line. Because my model has Navy winning by 11.5 points. So this may be a 2-unit play for me, a bigger play. I really like Navy against Loyola Maryland today at 12 o'clock. Next, we have a matchup in the Colonial Conference as we get Elon heading to Delaware, 6 point spread, -250 for Delaware, +210 for Elon. Elon coming in 3-3, 0-2 in Colonial play on a 3-game losing streak against Northeastern and UNCG. They also haven't played since I think the 3rd. So it's been a solid 3, almost 4 weeks that they haven't played. And Delaware coming in 5-7, 3-4 in Colonial play, coming off a win against UNCW. And I think that they keep it going here. They cover the 6 point spread. We're taking Delaware here. My model has them winning by 12.5 points. We're getting 6.5 of value on this line. So we're taking Delaware -6 versus Elon. Next, we get to a matchup in the A10 conference. We have George Mason heading to St. Bonaventure. It is a 10-point spread now for this game. And a -525 for St. Bonaventure, +420. Nice for George Mason. George Mason comes into this game 8-6, 4-4 in conference play. Off of back-to-back wins versus St. Joe's, where everybody beats St. Joe's, literally. But St. Bonaventure coming in 8-1, 6-1 in the A10 conference on a 16 winning streak versus Quesney, VCU, Fordham, Richmond, and St. Joe's. I'm going with the Bonnies to to take care of business here. My model has them winning by 17.5 points. So we're getting 7.5 points of value according to my model on this line. So I'm loving this line for Steve Bonaventure. Minus 10 versus George Mason. Next, we head to a matchup in the Pac-12 as we have the Utah Utes taking on the Colorado Bison. It's a minus 410 for Colorado, plus 330 for the Utes. Utah coming in 6-7 on the season, 3-6 in Pac-12 play, coming off of a loss versus the Huskies of Washington. Colorado coming in 13-4, 8-3 in Pac-12 play, and they are on a 2-game win streak against Washington State. And looking at this game, I think this game should be this line is a little wide. My model has this line at Colorado minus 1.5 or winning by 1.5 points. So we're going to go with the Utes here at plus 8.5 to keep it closer and cover this 8.5 point spread versus Colorado today. All right, let's head to our next game where we have a matchup in the Southland Conference where we have Abilene Christian taking on Incarnate Word. It's a 16-point spread for this game. Abilene Christian coming in 13-3, 5-1 in conference play, coming on off of back-to-back wins versus Central Arkansas and Stephen F. Austin. When Incarnate Word is 6-7, 3-3 in the Southland, coming off of a loss versus Houston Baptist. To give you an idea, that was Houston Baptist is now 3-12. So I'm going with Abilene Christian to roll all over IWU here. I don't think it's going to be relatively close. My model has this as a 22.5 point game. So give me Abilene Christian minus 16 versus Incarnate Word tonight. Next, we head to a matchup in the Southern Conference. If I can find the game, here we are. It is Mercer heading to Wofford. 4-point spread, minus 180 for Wofford, plus 160 for Mercer. Mercer coming in 9-5, 3-4 in Southern Conference play, coming off of a loss versus UNCG. Wofford also coming off a loss against the Citadel. They are 10-5, 6-2 in conference play. And I'm going to go with a bounce back spot here for Wofford. And Wofford just has Mercer's number. They took care of business against them earlier in the season, and they will do it again today. Take the Terriers minus 4, and Wofford gets it done. My model has them winning by 11, so we're getting the 7 points of value on this line. So we are taking Wofford minus 4 versus Mercer. Next, we have a 4:30 game in the Southland Conference where we have aforementioned Houston Baptist taking on Texas A&M Corpus. It is a 2.5 point spread. No money line on this yet, but Houston Baptist coming in 3-12, 2-5 in Southland Conference play, coming off of a win versus IWU. Texas A&M Corpus coming in 3-10, 0-4 in the Southland College, coming in on a 4-game losing streak versus Sam Houston State, IWU, New Orleans, and Southeast Louisiana. And I think this is a bounce back, get right spot for Texas A&M Corpus. I think they can take care of business here and beat Houston Baptist. Houston Baptist is not a good team by any stretch of the imagination. Neither is Texas A&M Corpus, but I think they take care of business here. My model has them winning by 9.5 points over Houston Baptist, so we're getting 7 points of value here on this line to give us Texas A&M Corpus versus Houston Baptist today. Next, we have a matchup in the Big South Conference. Let me find it. Do I have to scroll down more? There we are. Here, it's at 5:30 here. We have Charleston Southern taking on Campbell, 7.5 point spread. No money line on this game yet. It's no big deal though. Charleston Southern coming in 1-14, 0-11 in Big South play. on an 11-game losing streak. They lost yesterday versus Campbell. They've also lost versus UNC Asheville, Gardner-Webb, and Radford recently. When Campbell coming in 9-9, 5-6 in the Big South, coming on in off a win against Charleston Southern yesterday. But the thing is, Charleston Southern forced that to a 1-point game yesterday. Campbell only won by 1. And I think they can keep it close again today. We're taking Charleston Southern here at the plus 7.5 line. I think they can keep it close. And my model only has them losing by half a point. So if this money line comes out and it's a plus, let's see if I can find one similar. Maybe if it's probably a plus 250 line. I wouldn't mind plus 250 for Charleston Southern today. But we're definitely going with that plus 7.5 for Charleston Southern versus Campbell. All right, we have 2 more games to go over for today. The next one is part of the SEC Big 12 Showdown. We have Iowa State heading to Mississippi State. It's a 9.5-point spread, minus 460 for Mississippi State, plus 370 for Iowa State. Iowa State coming in 2-8, 0-6 in the Big 12. Big 12 is one of the best conferences in NCAA right now, coming off of losses versus Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, Texas, and Baylor. No shame in any of those losses. Those are 4 really good teams. Mississippi State coming in 9-8, 4-5 in the SEC, also coming in on a 3-game losing streak versus Tennessee, Alabama, and Ole Miss. 3 decent teams, or 2 really good teams in Ole Miss. So these 2 teams have been struggling lately, but they've been playing good competition. I think they keep it close this game. I'm going to be taking Iowa State plus 9.5. My model has this as a 2-point game, so we're getting 7.5 points of value on this line. So give us Iowa State plus 9.5 versus Mississippi State. All right, now we have our final game of the night, which I scrolled down a lot here, but I believe it's an 8 o'clock game. I love these large slates where you gotta find the teams, or they're just not here. Let me see. I know this is not a good look, but the Texas Southern, that's an 8:30 game. And there it is. Okay. This took me a second to find it. Our last matchup is in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. It is Alabama State taking on Texas Southern, 14.5-point spread for this game. It was at 15 earlier. It's got bet down to 14.5. Alabama State coming in 2-5, and then the identical record in conference play. Texas Southern is 3-7, 1-2 in the conference play. Both these teams coming off of a win. Alabama State beat Southern University, and a win for Texas Southern against Pine Bluff. So 2 teams off a win, and we're gonna go with the better team here. We're gonna go with the minus 14.5. I know it's a lot of points to lay, but we're going with Texas Southern to take care of business here against Alabama State. My model has Texas Southern winning this game by 21.5 points. So we're getting, once again, 7 points of value. I feel like it was either 6.5 or 7 for all these lines, but we are taking Texas Southern minus 14.5 versus Alabama State. All right, we're going to go a quick recap over our action for today. We have the Navy minus 3.5. We have Delaware minus 6. St. Bonaventure minus 10. Utah, plus 8.5. Abilene Christian minus 16. We have Wofford minus 4. We have Texas A&M Corpus at minus 2. We have Charleston Southern at plus 7.5. Iowa State at plus 9.5. And then we are finishing off the night with Texas Southern minus 14.5. If this information was helpful to you guys at all, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel down below. Each and every subscription is much appreciated for this channel. We have a wide range of sports that we're coming out with daily content for. We're gonna have NFL Super Bowl coming up. I'm gonna have a video for Super Bowl, and then me and my brother are gonna be doing a Super Bowl props video, looking at all the different props and all that for the big game. We have college basketball 6 days a week, soon 7. Probably I'm gonna do it tomorrow for Sunday. There's no football, so then we have UFC returning next Saturday. Esports, NBA, WNBA, NHL each and every day, MLB, and starting in a few weeks, we're going to look at NASCAR. We're going to look at matchups and stuff like that. We're not really going to look at, oh, so-and-so is going to win the race. We're going to see so-and-so is going to finish higher than so-and-so, and we're going to be looking at stuff like that. So we're adding NASCAR to our repertoire for videos coming up in a little bit. I believe Daytona is the first race, so that should be fun to do. But that is going to just about do it for this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications so you guys are notified each and every time we come out with a video here at All Sports Bets. And let's cash some tickets tonight in college basketball. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Ciao, guys.